Well, good day and welcome to this latest video on Globetrot Colin. This time I do have my bag packed, but I'm not going on a plane. I am taking a car journey, which is why I'm in the car, all the way to the Roman city of Bath in the UK. Join me, come on, let's go. All right, so I'm in my room now, which I'll give you a tour of in a second, but my plan is to head out into Bath this evening, find somewhere nice for dinner. I've managed to book this trip on the hottest day of the year, so got my summery glad rags on. But this is my room. It is a small twin, but it's perfectly acceptable for what I need. There is the sink, and then outside the door is a bathroom which is just for me, and hopefully this gives me some air tonight. These skies, but let's hope that doesn't mean rain. I've got quite an active schedule packed for today. We're going to go and visit the Roman baths, and also we're going to take a river cruise and have a look at Bath from a different perspective. Now then, walking down the street here in Bath, and I'm going to give you 2 seconds. What is the one thing you would think about Bath, given that it is a Roman town, a spa town? What is the one thing you'd think of? Wrong. Is it a polar bear on top of a pub? Because if it's not, you are wrong, but a very nice pub it is too. Later this morning. However, Bath itself is a city of around 90,000 people, but as I'm out and about now at about 9 o'clock, it feels pretty quiet, which is nice. I quite like having cities to myself, and I'm looking forward to exploring a bit more. Let's go. Well, it's just started to spit, but this is a very beautiful park, and I'm heading down there where there's a bit of a river and a weir, but I'm going to put the camera away for now because it's going to get wet, and I'm going to get wet. So this really is the archetypal British summer. We have beautiful gardens out in bloom, but it's peeing down with rain. Rule Britannia, Britannia. No, let's not do that. Here are the parade gardens, which sit in the shadow of Bath Abbey just over there. So this is something that I've been looking forward to seeing. So that in the background there is Pultenay Bridge, and in the foreground here we have the weir. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's quite a few seagulls and other birds enjoying the ride on top of the wave. So a little bit about Pultenay Bridge. So it's a bridge over the River Avon. So this is the River Avon here that then stretches down past this weir and into the distance over there. But it was completed in 1774 and it connected the city with the land of the Pultenay family, which the family wished to develop. So it's quite famous, and it actually has been designated as a Grade 1 listed building. But apparently what's quite unusual about it is, and I think you can probably just see in there is a parade of shops that run through. Let's go and have a look and see if we can get inside. So that's the other side of Pultenay Bridge, just some shops. So here we've got a coffee shop, a bakery, other shops along the way there. Very nice. Now, as you know, on this channel, we're not always one for following convention, and we're willing to take the occasional risk. However, I shan't be breaking that rule. What I do find quite curious is that on the side of this bin, in French, even though it's the Bath and North East Somerset Council, they do ask kindly that you do not feed the seagulls. Slightly unclear why it's only the French that need to be told that, but please, if you are coming over from France, respect our birds. Preparing some fresh pastries. Alrighty, so I'm just stood outside Bath Abbey now, which was opened in 1611 and is known as the Abbey Church to St. Peter and St. Paul, but is indeed an abbey and not a cathedral. And we have a nice statue in front of Bath Abbey, which is just here, and along the bottom here it says water is best, which of course is true, but only if there's no wine or fizz. Look at these wonderful doors at the front of Bath Abbey, carved out of wood. I'm afraid I can't tell you exactly what it says, but I would imagine that that is the emblem of Bath or of the Abbey itself, but an incredible piece of work. It certainly is. So last night I came for some dinner here, which you will have seen, which was a chicken escargot. And the pump room just there. So then, as I wait for my turn to go into the Roman baths, I thought I would show you, but albeit in an inarticulate fashion, whereabouts in the UK I am. So you can see here that we are in the southwest, very much near Bristol. I don't know if that's focusing. Okay, seagull abuse update. It has now also been translated into what I think is Chinese. So there does seem to be quite a lot of xenophobic activity against seagulls. Alright, so just got into the Roman baths here, built by the Romans, and of course after which the city is named. I don't think I'll be getting in there today, as alluring as it does look. Anything that's luminous green tends not to be all that healthy. But what can you say for something that's 2,000 years old? So this terrace here was opened in 1897 to the public, so that people could come and have a look for themselves, or even relax in the baths down there. It's a shame it's not a sunny day today, because I imagine it would look a lot better. Still pretty spectacular though. So around the baths here you can see various statues, and these are of the Roman emperors of the time. And over there, the very first one is Julius Caesar, followed by Claudius, and then various others along here, right the way around the perimeter, overlooking the baths. So in some way perhaps this was a way to depict them overlooking their land. So this says that this was one of the tallest buildings in Roman Britain, and the roof was 20 meters above the bath. Roman visitors would have been amazed by its high ceiling. So you can see here the level that I'm stood on, that's there, and that there would have been a huge arch ceiling over the top, 20 meters high above the baths itself. So I don't know if you can see it in there, but this is a natural spring which is at 46 degrees centigrade, and there are some bubbles forming in the water, which is natural air escaping from under the earth. Pretty amazing. This is a natural spring. Here's another view of the spring. Hopefully you can see in there that there are some little bubbles coming up to the surface. 46 degrees, quite balmy in there, especially for a cloudy day like today. Down in the museum now. Some artifacts here, and if we just look back through here, we can see one of the original columns as well. But on the wall here we have a graphic of what it might have looked like back in the day. Okay, so getting closer to the actual baths themselves, but here we can see the bath in its entirety. So you can imagine all that time ago it would have been absolutely packed to the rafters with people enjoying the sunshine in the baths. So here is what the front of the temple pediment would have looked like, 15 meters tall, with powerful imagery, and on the screen there we can now see some animated imagery of what it would have looked like when it was fully painted. Here is a map depicting Aquae and the Roman Empire. So Aquae was a small town in the Roman Empire. 1,000 or 2,000 people lived here, but you can see how far the Roman Empire stretched from there. This guy just chilling and enjoying the Roman baths. So here is the actual skeleton of somebody who would have passed away, aged around 45 in the 3rd century AD, with a reconstruction of what he would have looked like. It says that cremation was the normal funeral rite until the 3rd century, and then they would have been buried in these sarcophaguses or coffins. Here is a late Roman brooch, allegedly from Ireland. A collection of coins that have been pulled from the spring. Alright, let's head out to the actual bath itself. Wow, pretty impressive. Up there we can see the emperors lining the walls. Just imagine in the 3rd century AD, this would have been packed full of people enjoying these Roman baths. And I have to say, I imagine this would probably only have been for wealthy people. I cannot imagine that the commoners would have been able to enjoy it. Perhaps I'm wrong, but I imagine this would be quite an exclusive place to come. In the background you can probably hear Bath Abbey's bell ringing in 10 o'clock, which you probably can't see on my watch.
It's an old etch sketch, isn't it?
It is, it's quite hard work though, so I think I might go and put it over the fire later, and then because it just melts,
That's a good idea.
smooth it out much more easily.
Some carved stones from the Great Bath, which is the one just behind me. But it is quite amazing to think that these were carved and shaped all that time ago and have been recovered here at the Roman Bath. Here we are inside now in an immersion pool. So a semicircular bath here where people obviously would have sat along the seating area there, and this would have likely been filled with water. Imagine a jacuzzi, but very old. Probably not the best time to have started filming, but never mind. As what you get in a bath. I have to say this is pretty well preserved and reconstructed. It really does give you a feel of what it would have been like back in Roman times. You've got to watch where you're going though, because there is an uneven floor, but it's quite spectacular. And if that water was clean, I can well imagine that people would pay good money to come and sun themselves here in Bath. Here's the water coming from the spring that we saw earlier on, and I can feel the warmth coming off it, feeding down into the bath itself. And this guy's having a whale of a time. A quote here from Seneca saying that the picture is not complete without some quarrelsome fellow, a thief caught in the act, or the man who loves the sound of his own voice in the bath, not to mention those who jump in with a tremendous splash. So even back in the 1st century AD, there are real pains in the backside at public swimming baths. Shall we try it?
Yeah.
Let's have a go.
Yeah, same.
Okay, it's actually very hot. It's hot water, not a huge fan. I'm going to get a refund. Okay then, hot debrief, having just gone into the Roman baths here in Bath. 100% recommend it, absolutely fantastic. The architecture and the feel of the place is really reminiscent of what it would have been like in Roman times, obviously because it is a Roman bath and after which the city was named. But if you are in Bath, spare half an hour and go and have a look around. It's absolutely amazing. What I wouldn't recommend though is trying the spa water, because it genuinely tastes like somebody's dirty bath water. Now, for anyone who's never been to the UK before, this is a cultural hotspot, an absolute top tip. So this is GR Eggs, which is a famous convenience store, and you should definitely recommend it. Forget Selfridges, forget Harrods, come to GR Eggs. GR Egg himself was a person who was part of the British nobility, so definitely come along and visit. There are many examples of exemplary Georgian architecture in Bath. However, here we are at the Circus, which is a circular row of terraced housing in this style of Georgian architecture. This is not the Royal Crescent, which is where we're going in just a moment, but on the roundabout, if you like, or the green, we have some enormous oak trees which gotta be hundreds and hundreds of years old. All right, so here we are now at the Royal Crescent in Bath, completed between 1767 and 1774. It is a row of terraced houses and a Grade 1 listed building, and probably one of the most famous scenes in Bath. Absolutely beautiful. So then the Royal Crescent from a little bit further away, absolutely spectacular. Been standing here for just shy of 300 years and is probably the most sought after real estate in this part of the UK. I watched a programme about 6 months ago where some of these terraced houses, you know, that are here, can be going for tens of millions. So if you want a house here, better get that crypto working. Super cute, aren't you? Hello. Hello, little lady. What a shot that is. The Royal Crescent in the background and these beautiful gardens in the foreground. time to see Bath from a different perspective by going on a Prosecco boat tour. Here is the boat, and I'll be getting on in just a moment. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, spot pickers, pot pickers, and everything in between. I have come to a restaurant called Scallop Shell for some lunch, and I'm enjoying a nice glass of fizz before having some lovely fish. So, cheers. Now then, I've got a bit of a pant on because once again I've climbed to give you a view, and this one is outrageous. What better way to cap this lovely weekend in Bath than that skyline? Absolutely spectacular. I'm back where I started. I'm in my car ready to head home after a couple of days here in Bath. What are my redeeming thoughts? Well, first and foremost, if you're visiting the UK and you're going to London, take a 2-hour journey and head out to Bath. It is absolutely beautiful and quintessentially British, so I would truly recommend you visit. If you are UK based and you haven't been, which I hadn't, then 100% I'd recommend visiting it. There's lots of history, as you've seen throughout this video, so please do make the trip. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and also hit that subscribe button, because I'm going to be visiting every country in the world, but also coming to beautiful cities like Bath. For now, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.